if you're not doing something about the long-term care issue, they need to be reminding their clients every 2-3 years. They need to have a plan of some kind in place of whatever it's going to be. Now, going back into this, now I went through. This is the old website. I wanted to show, these were all the companies that were doing it back then, and now they're not doing it anymore. What happened? I have to come. There's a couple of reasons. First of all, remove that for now.
Well, just real
These
quick,
partnership long-term.
that's another thing, is that a lot of these companies have completely gotten out of the long-term care business. So it can be even difficult to find a company willing to write a long-term care policy. Now, there's still companies that do it right, but a lot of these companies that used to do it don't even offer long-term care anymore, and so um, it's become more of a niche product than it used to be.
And part of the reason of that, there's two reasons. One is that when long-term care was created as a policy, it started off based on disability claims, and they priced their policies based on that. They had these great benefits, lower premiums. Then over time, they realized, oh, this is a bigger issue and longer costs and bigger costs than that. So let me share my screen again, because I have here. This is from the Standard. The Standard puts out a piece every year about the kinds of claims that they've paid over the past year. This is, I think, for 2024. But let's look at some of this. A back disorder. A back disorder is not long-term care. Now, you may be disabled for a while. You might have a little bit of trouble walking, but you're not having necessarily a hard time taking care of yourself. You probably can't work, especially when you're a construction project manager. You're having a hard time working with a back disorder. It's going to be very difficult. If you're a lawyer, you got bone cancer. Okay, but that's only one thing. By the way, that lawyer got it at age 33. They got the policy. They claimed it at age 34. This consultant got broken limbs. Makes me wonder what kind of consultant they were. But anyway, hey, maybe they're for the mafia. What do I know? I don't care, as long as they paid out and it was a legal claim. All these things are not necessarily long-term care needs. It's not like you have a hard time taking care of yourself. Now, where's this? This IT consultant had got an eye disorder. Can you imagine? You're paid to stare at screens, and now you've got an eye disorder. You can't work. So, but these aren't the same as not being able to take care of yourself. Now, with an eye disorder, look, my father is legally blind. I know what it's like to be around someone who can't see all that well. But you get someone to drive you, and you get everything delivered to you, and maybe you need a guide to help you, get to places. That's it. You don't need help with continence. It's not like you can't remember stuff. It's a different thing. And so the first part is how the pricing was, and the second part is the rate increases. Long-term care does not have guaranteed rates for their traditional premium policies. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of these companies pulled out, because rate increases have to be approved by the commissioners of every state. And if the commissioner isn't going to grant that rate increase, what are you going to do? You got to take care of the policies that are on the books. And every company is allowed to increase to a certain amount, but maybe you need to increase it even higher. And that's what happened to a lot of these companies. They're realizing that they mispriced a lot of their policies. And so that's why a lot of them have left. So that California partnership, it was a pretty neat deal at the time. Now, what was the deal? The deal was, I'm going to use some round numbers because I don't have the numbers memorized. I didn't look it up. But let's suppose you got enough of a policy that would pay out, let's say, $150 a day. Once you're eligible, right? You got to wait the elimination period. Usually wait 60 days. And it would pay out $150 a day. And maybe it bought like $500,000 of total long-term care benefit. Okay, so you bought this pool of dollars.